All right, friends, it says I'm live, but it says I have to rotate my phone, which is not my friend. I like going the other direction. So I've rotated my phone. I'm live. Now I have to mute my phone. So it doesn't go off 100 times. Okay. I'm way too close up. So I'm here. I have some super fun things to show you. I have fun projects. And I have one of my favorite things. And I have a frog, because my grandchildren say, you get a frog, Gammy. So I'm going to drink my frog away. And then I have some really cool things to show you before I show you my fun online exclusive project. It's getting close to Valentine's Day, so I'm going to turn this down so I can show you. No matter how much I practice, right? Okay, so these are, we think, over 100 years old. So this is my grandmother right here and my grandfather. And they were going somewhere fancy. So there they are, all dressed up with Francis and Albert, which is fantastic. And then this is a birthday card to my grandmother. And my grandfather died when he was in his 40s. So we don't have a date on this, but we know it's really old. And we don't have a date on this. But my dad's 91 and his grandmother, and he was 19 when his dad passed away. My aunt, everybody's family's a little bit different. In my family, I am the keeper of all things old. So when someone has something that's old and they want it, you know, you just can't get rid of it. They give it to me. So my aunt gave me this. These are my grandmother's Valentine. So the picture you saw first was my dad's mom. This is my mom's mom. To Blanche Grigsby, which was my grandmother. From Glenda Charles. And these Valentines are very old, but also they stand up. So this is to Blanche Grigsby. She lived in West Baden, Indiana. It's a 1-cent stamp. And here's the envelope with the card. With the 1-cent stamp. We don't know who that one's from, but we love the 1-cent stamp. Here's another one. Look how fancy this is. Look at the dimension. So it stands up and it's beautiful. And it's from Glendora to Blanche. And it was made in Germany. Again, my grandmother, my mom grew up in West Baden, Indiana. And then they added Springs Valley, which was French Lick. So see the dimension to that one? This is to Big Blanche Grigsby from Glendora Charles. They must have been good friends. And Glendora had good taste in Valentines. So we love these. I pull these out every year. We believe they're over 100 years old. Not one of them has a date. This was in 5th grade. Here's to Blanche from Helen Wells. Again, we don't have any dates on anything, which is a little heartbreaking, but I'm just so thankful to have them. This looks like it was written with a inkwell and pen because of the angles. Isn't that the best? To Papa from Blanche. And why my aunt saved all of these, we have no idea. She passed away a couple years ago. She was in her mid-90s. So this is one of my treasure boxes. Now you've seen one of the fun things I have. So after looking at this, I reminded myself how much I like to do stuff that's a little bit different. And so I was inspired by all of her fun little Valentines to create this with Online Exclusives. So just a fun little, not a hard fold, not hard to do, but super cute when it's all done. It just, I can't be as cool as Glendora, but I liked it. Okay, so let me show you how I did that. And because my phone has flipped and it's upside down, I'm gonna have to do everything upside down to make this work, which you know, right? I guess I can see if I can turn it over. The problem is, well, you know what the problems are. Let's see if I can get it turned over. I don't know. I don't know. I never know. And it's hard for me to see my phone. Let me stand on my ladder beside my phone to see if I can get it to go right side up. I mean, right side up for when I'm stamping. Let's see. Yep, that's the right way. So I won't be able to, if I show it up to me, I'll be upside down. And I don't know why it won't let me go long ways. So I apologize that I'm working in a skinny area, but I don't know how else to do it. Let me see if I can straighten it a little bit. Okay, so now I know I can work right here. So this is what I did to create my card. So I'm using the Garden Meadow. I'm using the Garden Meadow dies. I'm using these adhesive-backed birds and dragonflies and birds. I'm using the Meandering Garden DSP and the Garden Meadow stamp set. These are all online exclusives. Oh, see, but these words are backwards. Oh. You know, let's see if that helps. There you go. Okay, so then I'll be upside down and backwards if I flip it. So there will be no flipping of the camera. You've seen enough of me. Now I'm just going to create. Okay, if you have comments, I'm not very good at checking them, but I will check them later. So this is 4 1/4 by 11. Yeah, 4 1/4 by 11. So it's half sheet of cardstock. And I'm just going to fold it over. Then I'm going to fold this part back. And I'm just going to fold it back on itself. Okay. Then I'm going to go in here. This is that beautiful paper. It's got so many colors in it. And it has all of these beautiful patterns. All watercolored by our artisans. I mean, they're just beautiful. The backs are great. I mean, you've got some really fun patterns on the back, but the florals are just so pretty. So let's see, what do I want? Oh, do I want that one? I mean, I picked the first one with my idea in my head. Now let's see how this looks. So see, I just kind of picked a meadow without a path. Would it be good with a path? I don't know. I mean, the way this crazy camera angle is, okay, I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'll just scooch down so you can see it all. There's so much in life I can't control, and videoing on Facebook is just one of many. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. Do I want that? I kind of want that. All right, let's do this. I'll move these on out of the way. I told you it had lots of colors in it, and it does. It's like balmy blue, basic black, blueberry bushel, cherry cobbler, crushed curry, fresh freesia, garden green, granny apple green, Highland heather, lemon lime twist, melon mambo, night of navy, orchid oasis, pecan pie, and petal pink. So again, this is an online exclusive, and you can go in. If you shop at StampCreatively.com, you can just go into the online exclusives, and it will show you all the pictures of things that are there. Okay, there's my dies. I'm going to scooch those to the top. So I cut this 4 1/4. So, because I know I'm going to want it to cover my whole front. So I cut it 4 1/4. And then I use these cute little folders to put my DSP in. So my 6x6 DSP is in here. This has all of its information in it, but my scraps go right back in there. Just makes life easier. So after I cut that 4 1/4, then I decided what I wanted this to look like up here. Do I want that much sky in it? I'm going to trim a little bit off. So then I'm going to take my seal and I'm going to put this across the top. I'm going to cover that whole piece. Okay, now I've got that whole top piece covered. I'm going to turn this over and trim this off the bottom. So I trimmed that off the bottom now. And this piece is going to go down here. And I fold this back, they're going to meet, and it's going to be the exact seam. Okay? So I'm going to adhesive this to the bottom. Come on, friend. You know, I am not a two-way glue fan, but sometimes it's nice because I can then kind of lay it down and scooch it around. So this is a little bit over. This is a little bit over. I mean, I try to get it straight and cut it straight and do it right. I'm only going to worry about that side. I don't care about the top. But there I have, there's my fold. And then I have this Night of Navy piece that I put over the top to cut that window out. So now I have to decide, do I want Night of Navy on this one, or do I want it a little bit different? I don't know. I think I kind of like the Night of Navy. I might like this green. What color greens are in here again? Garden and Granny Apple. Do either one of those? Do I think I want either one of those? Let's look. Okay. So part of a Facebook Live means that if I change my mind on what I have cut out, I have to go back. So do we like those colors? Or do we like the Night of Navy? I think I kind of like the garden green. So I think I'm going to change that up and cut me a piece of garden green. And my garden green is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 because I want it to cover the whole front of my card. So I'm going to do that there. And then we're going to get the big boss. We've got the trimmers in here. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm going to move this out of the way and bring in the big boss, which kind of is weird the way it takes up my screen. Right? One of these days I'll have all the fancy equipment so I don't have to use my phone to do a Facebook Live. I'm not there yet. I can't seem to get it on my equipment with my phone. So you have a weird angle of watching my die cut machine. And I apologize for that. Take this all off. And then in my head, because I've been doing this for such a long time, I was like, oh, I'll go get the brick embossing folder and run the brick through. Yeah, we don't have that anymore, friends. There's no more brick. So I used the 3D type just to give that outside piece a little bit of texture. It just looked weird to be so plain. Sorry, my hands are so close. So I used that 3D type embossing folder. That die cuts this out with a texture around the outside. So can you see that little pattern? It's got that little bit of texture to the outside. And so you get an inside-outside texture. So this one has a little bit too. I kind of covered it up when I die cut it. So now I'm going to attach my window on this just around the top. So I can either put adhesive here or I can put adhesive here because I know I'm going to go all the way around the top. So you kind of get to choose. So now I have my window. Oh my gosh, if I could fold right. Okay. So there's my window. And there's that. So now I'm ready to add my flowers and my words. And this looks a little bit off. I mean, guys, I could plan all day long and still end up with a little bit crooked. So if this bothers me, I can trim it off later. Right now it's not bothering me. So to do your little flowers, because I used 4 of these little lilac things, you have 2 ways of doing them. You can stamp them all, color them and cut them out, or you can layer your paper, cut out 2 at a time, and then because I'm using photopolymer, I can stamp right on top of those. And so sometimes that's a little bit easier when I'm doing a bunch of the same thing like that. So I don't have to line it all up on my, and make sure it goes through right on the big shot. This lines up easy enough for me to hit that about as close as what I do if I run it through. Again, I've got this fabulous glass mat. The glass mat comes from, when you can sign up to be a demonstrator and you can get this glass mat for free. Okay. So we discussed, Tanya and Sherry and I discussed where I was supposed to go live, and I may have gone live on the wrong spot. I mean, surprise, surprise, right? Okay, so now I have my 4 little, it could be almost any kind of spring flower. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a lilac. So that's why I colored them with, this is the light Highland Heather. You know what, I'd love to have a little dark Highland Heather. Let me grab that. Okay, so I grabbed my dark Fresh Freesia. Just so there's a little bit of contrast in color. I don't think you can really tell that. My grandson wanted to color his mama a picture while he was here for Christmas. And he did. And he messed up my blends. And I only notice it when I go to grab one. I go, wait a minute. Like I turned around real quick to grab that dark Highland Heather. And it's not right there. I don't know what he did with it. I know my tips look different. which was one of the indications that someone had been messing with my stuff. I'm kind of like the Goldilocks. Like, I know if someone's been messing with my stuff. She knew when someone was sleeping in her bed. That's kind of me. So I knew they were not in the right spot and thought I was losing my mind. And then some of the tips were also a telltale sign that that rotten rat had been in my blends. Okay. So I did these three. I'm going to put a little dark right there at the base. And if you're a blends fan, you know that if I give this a minute, it'll kind of lighten up. It doesn't stay that dark. Plus I like a little bit of contrast. I mean, look how interesting this paper is. How could anything I do on these be wrong? They can't be. And then I have a watering pail that I'm going to color with light smoky slate. And this watering can is gray, but it doesn't have to be. I have watering cans of all different colors. This is one of the tips that Walt got a hold of. One of my grandkids got a hold of. I don't want to tattle on him. So I'm going to use the nub on this one because he'd probably use the other end. And then this needs to be cut out too with a die. But I sure like doing the 4 this way better than the 4 that way. It's way quicker. And again, I feel like I can line that up pretty good. All right, you guys see my big hand again while I cut out my watering pail. And then we'll assemble this. I love clean new plates. If you live in my area and you're coming to camp this month, we're gonna get new plates. They just make me happy. They just don't last as long as what I like. Okay. Cut out my watering pail. And I could have used my mini boss for this too. Then you wouldn't have to see such a big thing in your camera or on your phone. Okay, so there's my cute little watering pail. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. Some assembly required. So I just put these guys on with pretty much all glue dots. So I stuck my flower on the edge down here. Okay, I stuck my watering can up here because I wanted it to look like it was watering it. But I don't want to go up past this line or it folds. So there's my flowers getting watered. Here's my fun reminder that every day is a fresh start. Sometimes we need to remember that. I was talking to a friend this morning and we were talking about when you're raising small kids, it's like Groundhog's Day. Every day is the same. So I'm gonna add my flowers down here. I'm gonna put a glue dot at the base because I want them to pop up a little bit. I don't need them attached at the top. There's no reason for them to be. And then it gives them a little bit of dimensional with just that glue dot at the bottom. And so pretty. I want to add my beautiful, these are the dragonflies and birds, and they're just perfect with this. Now, they were on back order for a while. I don't know if they're back yet, but if they're not, they'll be back. I've put birdseed out in my bird feeder, and I currently have squirrels. Isn't that cute? All inspired by my grandmother's Valentines, those 100-year-old fun-fold Valentines. So you'll have to tell me which color you like better. I thought they both came out pretty. Now I could crease these down and go back and forth and try to get this a real good crease so it would stay down better. can do that. Or sometimes I put a ribbon at the bottom and tuck it in. Or sometimes I just don't worry about it because my friend that gets this card is going to like it like this. I mean, they could do it like that. You can see the pretty flowers. You can't see them watered. But I love it. I love it. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to cut this off upside down. Oh, it says I have comments. I can't see them. Wait a minute. Let me see. Friend. Oh, hi, Cindy. Oh, you like the garden green. I'm good. That's what I chose. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm not a very good looker-upper. Everybody's got their things they're good at. That's not me. Okay, I'm going to do this because it's funny. Are you ready? I'm going to say goodbye like this. Are you ready? So I'm going to be upside down and sideways. Yes, I am. All right, friends, thanks for joining me. I'll be back next Monday at noon. Have a good day. Bye.